Hi again, and welcome to those who have just joined us for our Student Experience Couch to College session. This session is going to be presented by Annette and Stephen, who are both part of the Student Support Experience team at the Manchester College. Throughout the session, please feel free to use the Q&A box to the right of your screen and ask any questions that you have. We'll do our best to answer them at the end of the session. I'll now pass you over to Annette, who is the Head of Student Support, to get the session started. Hi, Annette.
Hi, thank you, Amy. Well, thank you everyone for joining us today. My job is really to encourage you to make the most out of your journey at the Manchester College by highlighting what's on offer in terms of some of the support, but also lots of the activities that happen and take place out of the classroom. Now, to help me today, I've got my colleague Stephen, and he's going to tell you a little bit about our quiz and how you can be in a chance to win £20 worth of vouchers. Stephen.
Thank you, Annette. Hi everyone, good afternoon, thanks for joining. Yeah, as Annette said, my name's Steve. I'm a member of the Student Experience team at Manchester College. I work at our Welcome Street campus in East Manchester, which is a Manchester School of Building. And just for a bit of fun and a bit of participation in today's session, we thought we'd do a little quiz. So throughout the presentation, we want you to be paying attention, of course, and to kind of take in some key information. So with that in mind, I've put together 5 questions about today's session, which we'll ask you at the end. You don't need to provide any answers today. We will ask you to email us with your answers, and one lucky winner will win a £20 voucher. So at the end of the session, I will read through the questions and we will also put them in the Q&A box, so you can copy them down if you want to that way. And then finally, they will be sent to you in a follow-up email. So if you don't want to write any of the questions down or anything, that's absolutely fine. But you might want to take note of your answers so you can be ready to respond to the email. And I'll talk to you a couple more times during today's meeting, and I'll just hand you back over to Annette. Thank you very much, Annette.
Thank you, Stephen. Okay, so one of the first things that I would love to share with you is one of my reasons for working at the Manchester College. And it's essentially, when I first joined, we went through an Ofsted inspection, and it was last February. And when the inspectors were talking to our students, one of the things that they mentioned to the inspectors was that we were the college that didn't leave anyone behind. And the reason for that is because of the fantastic wraparound support that we put in place. So Stephen, if you don't mind moving on to the next slide, I'll be able to explain a bit more about all the roles that are in place to make sure that you can hit the ground running when you start with us, and that you go on to succeed with your chosen course. So one of the first roles that you will meet is our student experience support practitioners. So those staff members are there to make sure that you are safe both on and off of the campus. Now, one of the things that we've learned during COVID is that mental health, well-being, being fit, being active is all the more important. So that role is there to keep you physically and mentally well too. So they'll be putting on a whole host of events whilst you're on college to make sure that you get the most out of it. Now, if you feel that you want more intensive emotional support, what we also have is contacts with lots of internal and external agencies. So in terms of the internal partners we work with, we've got an in-house counselling team, we've got the disability team, so there's lots of people there that will help you feel supported. And in terms of external agencies, we work with charities like CUTH, 42nd Street, Brook, that are all there again to make sure that you feel safe. One of the best things about their role is that they also get to arrange all the fun stuff, and I'm going to say a bit more at the end of the presentation about the enrichment. And when you think and you hear about that word enrichment, it's really about enriching your student experience. So maybe you're starting college because you've got aspirations to go into university, they've lots of different clubs and societies. We've got that here at the Manchester College, and I'll be telling you a bit more about what that's like and the support that you can get. Now, as well as the student experience support practitioners, we have the mentor role, and who better to explain the student mentor role than Stephen? So I'm just going to hand back to Stephen, who's going to tell you a bit more about the mentor role and how that's just a little bit different from what the student experience team do. Stephen.
Thank you, and I could probably think of half a dozen people who could probably explain the role better than me, but I'll give it a go. I've been with Manchester College a relatively short period of time, and I think one of the reasons that I was offered the role was life experience. So the mentors are people who are based in each campus, and they're your kind of first port of call for a friendly chat and some advice. And although we work alongside subject tutors, we're completely independent and wholly focused on our students' kind of well-being and progression, and making sure that students will be kind of being given support to overcome any challenges that they might come across while they're with us. So just to give you an example, we've had to adapt a little bit, of course, over the last few months with the virus pandemic. So I've had a group of students who I've been working with who I've maintained weekly contact with to ensure that they're getting the right resources and the right type of support from their tutor to ensure that they've met their learning outcomes for this year, and that their chances of progressing into what they want to do next year have not been adversely affected by the changes to remote learning that we've had to implement. So that gives you an idea of something we've had to do differently over the course of the pandemic, of course. But generally, we occupy an area of the campus called the HIVE, which I'm not going to talk about now because we've got a dedicated slide to it. And in order to ensure that students can succeed and do the very best they can and adapt to the changes between school and college and the ways of working, we put on study sessions and one-to-one and group activities, again, just to ensure that people are getting the very best they can out of their time in college. And we're solution focused. We're here to look at ways to meet challenges and ways to make sure that people progress in the way that we would like them to, and we help you to track your progress throughout your time with the college. And I'm just going to pass back to Annette to talk to you a little bit more, and specifically she's going to talk to you about our achievement tutors. Thank you, Annette.
Yeah, thanks. I think just the whole focus here is about progression. You know, we're here at the Manchester College to help you progress with whatever your ambition, your aspiration is. Now, probably a few of you are thinking about starting your course and you're sort of seeing your study programme in, you know, a year, 2 years, 3 years. It just seems like a massive amount of time. So we've got a designated role. They're called an achievement tutor, and their whole job is to help break down that sort of big sort of programme into sort of smaller pieces and to help you stay on track. And the way that they do that is through one-to-one meetings that are just focused on you, what is it that you want, and then to map out some smart targets, some goals that they will then check in with you to make sure that you meet. So it's really to help keep you on track, to make sure that you get the progress that you're capable of, and more importantly, what they will do is offer that stretch and challenge. So when you start the Manchester College, based on your profile from school, we'll have given you sort of target grades, what we think that you're capable of achieving. But what we want to make sure is actually you go beyond that. And the role of the achievement tutor is that if maybe you're on target for a merit, they will push you to help you get that distinction. So the achievement tutors are slightly different from the mentors and the student experience practitioners in that they are based within your curriculum. Now, the benefit of that is they really know what it is that your curriculum tutors are asking for. So they'll be able to bring that course together for you, help you to prioritise your time, help you to focus, stay on track with your assignments and your assessments so that you get the absolute best out of your experience and out of your qualification. And the reason why I think we sometimes need this role, and again we'll pick up on this later, is that college is different from school. You know, at school you've maybe had a number of teachers, you know, you've had lots of deadlines, you've lots of homework, and yes, you will have that here, but there's more emphasis on you. And so just to make sure that you keep on track, this is exactly what the achievement tutor is there to do. So it's to help you sort of make that transition from sort of school to college and help you build up those kind of independent skills that you need. And just as we've said, they'll do that through a mix of one-to-one sessions where they'll get to know you really, really well and what you're capable of. As well as that, we'll also have a tutorial package, and that will be helping us to explore some of the issues around employability, because some of you will be here at college, you'll hope to achieve your qualification and move into work. We'll talk to you about how to do that. There'll be some of you on the session that are really interested in university, so the Achievement Tutor will be running tutorial sessions on how to apply for UCAS. So no matter what your goal is, the Achievement Tutors are the role within the college that will help you to achieve that, just as the name suggests. Okay, so Stephen, would you mind moving on just to the next slide so I can give us an overview of how this all works together? Okay, so the campus team that we've shown here is actually for students that will be studying at our Openshaw campus. So if that's a few of you on the call, let me introduce you to a few colleagues. So no matter what campus it is, there's a head of student support. So as Amy introduced me, I look after students that are studying at St John's, at Fielding, at City Labs. Julie is the head of support at Openshaw, and she looks after the team leader Liam and the site duty officer Tony. And underneath those guys, there is the safeguarding team. So that's the role that I was talking about that helps with your mental well-being, your physical well-being, putting on those enrichment events. And then we have the achievement tutors who are talked about. So we've got Sarah there, we've got Cheryl, we've got Katie, and they'll all be there to make sure that you stay on track with your course. And supporting Stephen, we have Kofi and Tony, and they're in the mentor role. So what I really hope that you take away from this slide, what you take away from this presentation, is that we have a designated team that are just about supporting you, making sure that you have the best experience, that we keep you safe on and off the campus, and we're all dedicated to making sure that you get the most out of it. So that's the team. Have a look at those familiar faces if you're coming to Openshaw, but just to reassure you, we've got all those roles at every single campus, no matter which one you're choosing to study at. Now, we've already sort of alluded to the HIVE, so I'd just like to take a second to explain a bit more about what the HIVE is. Well, as you can see, there's quite a lot going on, so to make sure that you don't have to, figure out where everyone is and where you're going to find them, we'll have a designated space on each campus, and we're going to refer to this as the HIVE. And what we really want you to do is to thrive at the HIVE. Okay, a bit of a mouthful there. And it's really a kind of one-stop shop, if you like, for sort of student life. You can find out where to get involved in enrichment, you can find out more about what college life has to offer. But one of the really important things is that if you've been out of maybe school, you've maybe not been on your school campus since March, and you've gotten out the way of studying, and maybe you're feeling a bit nervous about it, you find it hard to settle back into the classroom environment. Well, this is also a place for you to come to get a designated one-to-one support with a student mentor to help you ease back into what it means to be a student, what it means to study again. So it's that kind of space where we're there to kind of really help you overcome any barriers to learning, and that might be some, as I said, that you've just because of what's happened in COVID, getting back into the swing of it. The HIVE is a place to come to pick up some of those, skills that maybe are a bit rusty. So we'll have focus workshops on things like time management, well-being, study skills, just as we sort of said. But so when you're looking for it, look out for the HIVE, and that's where you'll find all this information. And the other thing that you'll find there is sort of opportunities to take part as student ambassador roles, but again we'll pick up a little bit more about the student voice and my voice later on. So thrive at the HIVE, that's your kind of takeaway, that's your go-to place to get all the support that you need to kind of hit the ground running. And as I said, if you're feeling a little bit rusty about anything, that's the place to go and to seek out. Okay, so moving on to the next slide. What we are really about at the Manchester College is preparing you for work and for higher education. And one of the main ways in which we do that is to adhere to a set of values, a set of principles that are represented here in this slide called the deal. Now, the deal, like any deal in life, is two-way. Okay, so just as we expect these values and behaviours from you, we also expect them of ourselves as staff. So I just want to take just maybe a few minutes to talk about what we mean by these issues, by these values, and how you can demonstrate those deal behaviours. Now, what's brilliant about it is that we have the deal portal, so that when you actively show these behaviours and show that you're committed to this behaviour framework, you'll be rewarded. So it won't go unnoticed, and it's a really good way for you to sort of demonstrate to employers, to your tutors, that you're able to sort of demonstrate these really key employability employability skills, as I said, as well as preparing you for higher education. So the one key value that I think is really important, no matter where you are in life, is respect. And I think one of the things about the Manchester College is, you know, Manchester's a global city. It always amazes me that, you know, there's 186 languages spoken in Manchester. Who knew? So that means that Manchester, the college, we just attract students from all different kinds of backgrounds, with all kind of types of histories and all kinds of interests and passions. So it's really important that we're inclusive of that, and that we're kind to each other, and that we show appreciation of that diversity. So for example, if you are LGBT, we've got a specific, you know, dedicated group, support group, where you can come. We celebrate Ida Hobbit, we celebrate Pride, you know, so we really do try to, you know, live our values by the sort of enrichment events that we put on as well. So it's really important to us that you understand at the Manchester College just how diverse we are, and at all times that we're respectful of that diversity. Now, one of the other key things is collaboration, and that's about the opportunity to share your ideas, to show your understanding, and working together. You know, when you come onto campus and you take part in the teaching and the learning, even online like this, it's a way to collaborate, it's a way to work together. And I think what I love about FE is the very sort of practical nature of our courses. You know, so Stephen, for example, works at Welcome Street, you know, in construction, you know, all the guys in the workshop working together to create, same if it's visual arts, fashion, you know, you get so much more achieved when we work together. So collaboration is another key principle that we sign up to as part of the deal. Now, Stephen's also said as well about being proactive, about being solution focused, see it, say it, sort it. So what we don't want you to do is to kind of suffer in silence, or, you know, I've told you who you can come to if you've got a problem with anything. It could be your SASP, it could be the student mentor, it could be the achievement tutor. Tell us if you see something's not working. Talk to us and we can fix it and we make it happen. So it's really important that you talk to us, that you talk to each other to solve those problems, and that's a key skill in the workplace, you know. So for example, with COVID, we've all had to be really proactive and identify new ways of working, new ways of studying, so it's important that you take ownership, you know, that you take ownership for that sort of skill and that behaviour. The other thing that we ask of you is that you're committed. So just making sure that you're excited about starting with us in September. And right now, if you're not feeling excited, I'd maybe say to yourself, are you sure you've picked the right course? And there's still time to change your mind, but hopefully you are feeling excited, because the more excited you are, the more motivated you are, and the more committed you're going to be. So that makes sure that you adhere to our start times, to our finish times, you know, no disappearing at lunchtime, that you commit to the full day just as you would if you were at work. And it's about when you've got those assignments, when those deadlines, and sometimes they all come thick and fast, that you're committed to seeing it through, that you dig deep and that you try really hard. And again, you're not on your own. You've got your achievement tutor, you'll have your smart targets, and all of those things will help make sure that you meet your deadlines, but we can't do it for you. It's a bit like a gym membership, and believe it or not, I do have one. But you know, you don't get the results. You can have the membership, you can sign up, but unless you go to the classes, you know, unfortunately, you're still going to be a chubby checker. So you just have to think about, you know, what you've signed up to, committing to the classes, because that's the only way that you're going to get the results that you deserve, like the gym. And part linked to that committed is being responsible. You know, you're not at school anymore. You're progressing with your life, you're moving on, it's a transition. So what we need to see from you is that kind of can-do attitude, taking more responsibility, not waiting to get into trouble, not waiting to get chased for your homework, not waiting to get chased for your assignments. That's all a bit boring, you know. So it's about making sure that you take a lead on your learning, and as I said, we're there to help you with that. And I bet the reason why you're here is because you are ambitious. You know, you could easily have chosen something else. You might not have signed up for a course, but you've chosen to do that, and I bet that's because secretly you've got an ambition, maybe not so secretly, to do something else with your life, to do better with your life, to really fulfil all of your potential. And that's what being at the Manchester College is all about. It's about being amazing. It's about setting those goals and us helping you to meet them. And throughout, you know, I've talked about a deal being two-way, so you can expect that of us, right? We'll be just as ambitious for you. That's why we'll stretch you. That's why we'll challenge you. You know, we've got a responsibility to make sure our teaching, our learning is exciting, it's engaging. If it's not, then you proactively have to tell us. But we will also work with you to make sure that we achieve all of this. And through this, what we're really talking about is professional standards, our professional standards as staff and your professional standards as students. And one of the things that we really need, that we really care about underpinning all of this is safety and keeping you safe. And a key part of that at college is wearing your ID. I have to wear it, mine is here, yeah, so it's one I made earlier. So you'll have your ID, and it's really important that you wear that when you're on campus so that we know who you are and that you're safe. And as I said, like if you're working in the NHS, if you're working as, you know, in the prisons, wherever you might be working, chances are you're going to have an ID badge. So getting into that habit's really, really important. So what I really want you to take away from this slide is to know that we're a college with high aspirations of ourselves and for you, and the way that we get there is by adhering to all those DEAL behaviours. So we will talk about it a lot, and as I said, you'll be rewarded for those behaviours as well using the DEAL portal. Now, I've also talked a little bit about the differences between college and school, and Stephen's going to talk a bit more about college life and what you can expect.
Thank you, Annette. I think we've covered a fair amount of this already, but I just want to emphasise a few things and not overlap too much with what's already been said. We've talked a lot about the pastoral support that you'll receive as a student at Manchester College, and just to see how that maps across from school. You know, at school you have a form tutor. At the start of the day, you'll go into either a form or you might have an assembly, and that structure's in place, but it works in a very different way. You know, at school you have the same people in your form, you have the same people in your classes from, let's say, 8:15 till 3:30, depending on your school start and finish times. Whereas at college, people come and go, and you'll have less time with formal lessons and more time for independent study, and you won't see the same faces all the time. So this takes a little bit of getting used to, and we don't want people to feel overwhelmed and lost by some of the changes that take place when you start college. And so this is why we just wanted to talk about this a little bit more, and this is why we have so much wraparound support. So because the emphasis is on you, because you have chosen to go to college, you know, the way that the study life is that it is more independent, which is why we have kind of extensive library resources. We have so many different people who are available to help you to improve the way that you study on your own. And of course, with what's happening with COVID-19, we'll be having a greater blend of independent and remote study and on-campus study, and that's something that we're all adapting to, and a challenge that the college is working very hard to meet at the moment. So these are some things that are going to, you know, be quite different to school, which you'll be more used to. It is a little bit more relaxed. You know, Annette has talked very passionately about the DEAL and the standards that we expect of all our students and the standards that we live to as college staff. But it is a little bit more relaxed. You know, you're almost into adulthood. We don't expect to be called Mr, Miss and Mrs. You can call tutors by their first name. It is far closer to an adult relationship in some ways. So, you know, with that decision you have taken to come to college, you are empowered to achieve as much as you can from your time with us, and the support and the timetable and the environment are quite different, and we just want people to be aware of that we know we won't be chasing you because you've got a bad haircut. You know, we might ask you about your bad haircut, we won't be sending you home with a letter. It's a lot closer to an adult experience. So, you know, you do need to take responsibility for your own attendance and punctuality. If your attendance or punctuality are not on an acceptable level, we will talk to you about it. We'll put an action plan in place. We will see what we can do to help you to improve it. But we expect it to be 100%. That's what the standard is that you should aim for. But if need be, we will contact, you know, learners, parents, guardians, next of kin, just to see if we can have a kind of combined approach to supporting with that. But yeah, just because your name's isn't called at a register every morning doesn't mean we don't expect you to maintain really high standards of punctuality and attendance at college, just as is expected at school now. I just want to big up our student guide online, and the website for that, which is www.tmc student guide. It's useful because one of the quiz question answers is also there, and that's just a little portal. It's not overwhelming with loads of text and loads of things to read. That just gives you a breakdown of life at college, and it's a good starting point to find out more about your journey with us at Manchester College. And I hope that's something that you'll have noted down or note down for later. If not, you can always Google. Other web search services are available, but you can always Google Manchester College Student Guide if you want to look at that later. So that was just a little bit about the differences between school and college, and I'll pass you back over to Annette now. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Stephen. So I think one of the things that you're probably going to be most excited about is your programme of study. So just to show how we kind of split all this up in terms of really explaining what the student experience is like at the Manchester College. So first of all, you'll have your core qualifications. So as I said, for some of you it might be construction, some might be hairdressing, catering, but what you've applied to do, we refer to as your core qualification. But as well as that, because of how important maths and English is to progressing into employment as well as into higher education, you will have to, depending on your GCSE results, study towards either improving that grade or working towards your functional skills. So if you haven't managed to achieve a sort of pass in your GCSE, you will have to make sure that you continue to study your English and maths. If you have already achieved a pass with your GCSE maths and English, you will still be doing maths and English. It's just sort of embedded more within your sort of core qualification, and you'll have a bit more time. It's called directed study to focus on your core qualification. But for the majority of our learners at the Manchester College, they do want to do English and maths, and for some that are maybe not happy just with their pass, they want to sort of improve, we can have that conversation about whether or not that's feasible for you. Now, the other thing, as well as your sort of core qualifications, your English, your maths, is the support, which, as I said, we've talked a lot about in terms of support roles, but there's other support available like finance. So for example, if your situation changes at home, that things are hard, things are tough, then we've got bursaries available. So don't ever, I think that's it, don't ever struggle. There's so much support out there, and making sure that you know that it's there and to ask for it. We'll do our best to make sure that you get what you need. So support can be just like the tutorials we talked about. It can be bursaries, it could be the one-to-one, but you're not alone, and that's a big part of what your programme of study is. It's us helping you to achieve that. The other real key focus for us at the Manchester College is we are all about careers, not courses. So it's not just a course, it's about how does this course translate into the real world that you are going to get a job, and a really good job, and a job that you enjoy. And to help you with that and to navigate all of that, we've got employability. So through that, you will have opportunities to participate in work experience, in citizenship, in volunteering, and getting those transferable skills. So no matter what your qualification is, you've got these behaviours, values, qualities, skills that you're nurturing as part of employability. That means you can apply for lots of different jobs. Might not even be related to your core qualification, but by building up all that confidence and those other skills, it makes you more employability. So it's all about careers, not courses, at the Manchester College. And we're really proud of our employability team because they actually won an award recently for the fantastic work that they do. So we know that you're going to be in safe hands to get closer to that employment goal by doing the work there. And then the sort of last sort of piece of that puzzle is enrichment. And what we're going to do actually is, rather than us and my Glaswegian tones explaining all about enrichment, we think it'll be better actually to hear directly from our learners. So we've just got a short video to show you. It's about 6.5 minutes, and just really lets you hear about all the great activities, events that take place for you to get involved in. So it's not just about what happens inside the classroom at the Manchester College, it's about what happens outside as well. And that's where you build your friendships, your relationships, as well as some of those skills I've been talking about. Stephen.
Stephen, the sound's not on, unfortunately.
Yeah, hi Amy. I'm afraid I got an error message just to say that the system audio wasn't working.
If you just reshare your screen again,
Okay,
and tick that box, and then hopefully it'll be okay.
No problem.
Thanks for your patience, everyone.
Okay, I'll press play again.
Skills. In addition, enrichment helps you to flourish. Not just personally, but academically. It helps you to gain the skills to become work ready. So what does enrichment look like at the Manchester College? Well, here are some of our learners and staff to tell you a little bit more about it.
Hi, my name is Des Wilson. I'm a student experience support worker here at the Manchester College, and I belong to the student experience team. I'm here to talk to you today about the enrichment programme and the offer that we've got for you to get engaged with here at the college to help you develop to the best of your ability. We have various programmes that are on offer. There's a lot of enrichment activities that go on. For example, we have lots of clubs, societies and groups that you can get involved in within different curriculum areas. We also have a gym here based at Openshaw, which has got scheduled opening times, and you're very welcome to use that. If you do want to find out a little bit about this, you can come to the student experience team at any time, and we're very happy to help you with that. We also have various programs involved, such as programs aimed at promoting and maintaining your positive mental health and well-being. So these activities include meditation, yoga, Pilates. We have guest speakers that come in occasionally, and also there's an opportunity for you to be a part of our team as well and get involved in activities and become an enrichment ambassador. I do hope that you do get involved in lots of activities here at the college. It's a brilliant place to be. We're a great team, we're very friendly, and I'm sure you'll have a lovely time.
Hi, I'm Hannah Cray and I study at the Sheen and Simon campus. At my time at the Manchester College, I've been involved in many different groups, one of which is the LGBT+ group. We have done many different events, one being the Hate Crime Awareness Week. As a group, we meet once a week and we talk about problems we may face and we share stories with one another. So having the LGBT+ group has given me a lot of confidence. I now have many other young people, students that have now become my friends, and I'm now finding out who I am.
Hi, my name is Akosia Poku. I've been studying at Openshaw campus for almost 2 years. I'm currently studying Health and Social Care Level 3, and I'm one of the student ambassadors at the Manchester College. With the support of the Students Experience team, I met Teresa, who motivated me to improve my confidence by applying for the Student Ambassador position. This has really helped me gain confidence, good communication skills, and employability skills. The college has been really helpful through my first year journey, and even now I've done things I've never thought I could. I met incredible people. The Student Experience team has done excellent in supporting and motivating all students. Being an ambassador has really helped me.
My name is Ethan Fulton and I'm studying Level 3 Carpentry and Joinery at the Manchester College. I am here to talk about the benefits of enrichment at the Manchester College. Throughout the last year of my course, we entered an entrepreneur competition with the help of our amazing tutor. Out of all the brilliant ideas that groups from other campuses have created, we came first and won £400 to go towards a trip. So we all decided to go to Alton Towers. We learned many skills like teamworking, employability and character building that hopefully we can apply into the real world. Thank you, Manchester College. Be challenged. So be involved this year. We have sustainability, EDI and entrepreneur competitions. Good luck.
I'm Matthew. I am currently studying at Openshaw campus for the Manchester College, and I'm currently on the course of Level 3 BTEC Digital Technologies. I'm also a part of the Student Council. I was standing head for the academic year 2016 to 2017. Most of our roles are talking to students and seeing what they think should be improved around the college, such as changing addition, the cafeteria, or improving our ICT systems, such as internet or maybe just newer computers. An example of something that's on the enrichment programme is the fact that we have guest speakers which will come in and raise awareness about different topics. These topics can range anywhere from disabilities for mental or physical capabilities to the world of business and employability. Some of the benefits of being involved, probably, well, you get a jacket if you join student council. That's one of the better things, and they're pretty decent quality. And for the different clubs, you get to meet different people. You get to make friends that you might not have met before.
My name is Jason Francis, and I'm currently in the Manchester Northern College. The college offers lots of different workshops you can become involved in. I took part in a cycle maintenance course and cycle proficiency. I learned to cycle safely on the road and gained a certificate. At the end, I was given a bike and it was very great. After the course, I felt more confident that I could ride a bike anywhere.
Hi, my name is Ryan. I study IT Level 2 and I'm known as an enrichment champion. As an enrichment champion, you get to provide the school or the college with what they need and to make the college a better place. And we create like football activities, basketball, music competition, talent show basically, so that all the students can be happy. We also have a group in which we provide our skills together. And I think with this, you can bring out your skills and your talent, and also be respectful to others as well, because I think that's the most important thing we have to do. And at the end, we have celebration meal when we all come together as one to celebrate the day together.
So hopefully what you've seen there is lots and lots of opportunities to get more from college. So it's really enrichment is about enriching your student experience, getting the most out of it. And you'll just see the bullet list there. You know, we've different themed events. We've got a whole host of sports, particularly at our Nichols campus, which other students can access as well. So there's basketball courts, there's gyms, and we're actually undergoing a major development of our Openshaw campus. So there's going to be lots of investment in new sort of sports equipment, which, you know, most of you will get the benefit of, because that is coming very soon. But as well as that, we've got so many students that just want to give back. So throughout the year, you'll see lots of fundraising and campaigning for all the sort of national charities, but also for sort of more local issues, which really mean something to our students. So really do get involved in that. And we also offer sort of volunteering opportunities. You know, we understand it's really quite challenging now for young people maybe to get Saturday jobs in the same way that was maybe an opportunity for me. So sometimes volunteering is a way to kind of get more of those skills that you would maybe traditionally have got from work. And again, it's also a way of sort of giving back to the causes that you care about. And I think that's one of the things that I love about your generation, you know, from Greta and all this work that she does around the climate change, for the way that the young people have taken the lead on the Black Lives Matter. You know, we really want to make sure that we help galvanise all your passion and help direct you to the right sort of volunteering opportunities, and help make sure that your voice is heard. And we do that as well through lots of the different clubs and societies. You'll remember one of the girls talking about the LGBT plus group. We've also got sort of you've got chess, you've got video gaming, you know, so whatever your interests are, it doesn't need to be political, it could be just for fun. We've got those clubs and societies going on. We also have the entrepreneur competition, which does come with a cash prize of sort of £400, which you can take your whole class to Alton Towers, and people get really involved in that. So even though you might be studying at Openshaw, you'll be up against students at Sheena Simon and Nichols and Harper Hay, and I think that just allows you to see as well that how you are part of something much bigger by being part of the Manchester College. You know, that's why we're, you know, the sort of #1 for achievement as well across Greater Manchester, just the way that we're able to pull that all together. And competitions are a kind of great way to kind of showcase all the talent that we have. And you know, the community projects feeds in a lot to the sort of volunteering that we do, and we get guest speakers to try and excite you about some of those kind of issues, and just a whole host. But what I really want to pick up on is the Duke of Edinburgh, because one of the great things that we've done is we thought, right, we've got students that are really interested in volunteering. They've got maybe a passion for a skill, subject. So what we thought is working with the Duke of Edinburgh, which I hope you're all sort of familiar with, know something about, is a way to sort of package that up and to give you an award so that you leave with a qualification that again adds to your CV. Now, I'm not going to say too much about the Duke of Edinburgh because I want you to attend the session. We have a designated session today all about the Duke of Edinburgh that's been led by my colleague Gavin and Vicky from the Duke of Edinburgh. So if you've got some time today, around, I think it's 5 o'clock, Amy, you can maybe put the details in the chat box and they'll be able to sort of explain a bit more. But if I was to summarise it, it's a way of packaging up all of those fantastic enrichment opportunities to make sure that you leave with an award that is globally acknowledged. It's and a lot of universities offer it. In fact, we're one of the only FE colleges at the moment that do offer it, so it's a real opportunity to get involved, and it's accessible. It's on every campus, and like we say, the benefit is you get to meet people, you get to enhance your CV, and it just allows you to give something back. So lots of reasons to sign up for the Duke of Edinburgh Award, and as I said, pop along to the session today if you can at 5 o'clock to find out just that bit more. Now, the final point that I really want to sort of emphasise about your time at the Manchester College is we want it to be the best college in Manchester and the North West, and the only way that can happen is if we actively work with you to create positive change and to make sure that this is a go-to college. So we have designated reps, study reps that volunteer, and that allows you to kind of work with your classmates and feed back to the college what it is that you want to see and to what has to be changed, how we can make it better. So study reps are a great way to kind of do that. And then also the sort of campus council. So you might know from sort of maybe you've got older siblings or maybe at university or just even from lots of TV shows. Students' unions are a massive deal in terms of universities, but they're not just for university, they're for college as well. So we're really pleased that we have a designated students' union. We have an FE union president, and they're again all about making sure that your voice is heard so that we can make a positive change, we can pick up on the issues. And just one, so one of the other values of the college is about the environment, is about sustainability, and we led a campaign about single-use plastic, so to really reduce waste on campus. And Greater Manchester Council were really impressed by that they've actually set up a sort of cross regional sort of working group. So the result of our student union leading on that has had a wider impact across Manchester. That's the power that your voice has. So if you are active, if you want to get involved, these are some of the ways to do it, through the study reps, through the campus council. But maybe another sort of role that's less about that, and it's more about you champion the college, is the ambassador role, and they did talk a little bit about that in the video. And an ambassador is, we have lots of events, we have events like this, but they would be on campus. We would basically have things like parents' evenings, we would have open evenings, and nobody does a better job about explaining what the Manchester College is all about than our current students. So being an ambassador, being that champion of the college really helps us to bring to life what it means to be a student here. And it's fantastic because again, it's about building your confidence, and that's what one of the students sort of said, really, working with Teresa in the ambassador roles really helped her to build her confidence. So by seeking out these opportunities, you're sort of making yourself different from all the other students, to have that on your CV, you're standing out to employers, but for your own personal development, never mind professional, these kind of roles can be really, really rewarding, and we need it. We really need to listen to what it is that you've got to say to make the Manchester as amazing as it is. So if you are keen, please do look out for ways to get involved on your campus and that ambassador role. Now, I'm really conscious we've talked a lot at you, Steve and I have, and you've watched the video, and so hopefully you're all still with us. And we just want to really kind of hand over to you. I'm sure you've got maybe quite a few questions for us. So we'd love to sort of hear from you. So if you just want to make use of the chat box, put any questions that you have in there, and myself and Stephen will do our very best to answer them. Okay, Steve?
And just while the questions are coming in, I'll just like to go through my quiz questions, if that's okay.
Of course. Sorry, yeah.
So I mentioned at the beginning that we'd have 5 questions for you about today's presentation, and I hope you've been paying attention. Of course, if not, we're a bit desperately sad and lonely, won't we, Annette? But we'll try to live. So these questions are also going to get pasted into the chat box and also sent out to you in a follow-up email. But I'll go through them now, and if you see how many you get straight away, and just make a note of the answers, and we'll tell you where to send them to. So question 1, the Manchester College offers a centralised support hub where you can thrive. What is its name? Question 1, Manchester College offers a centralised support hub where you can thrive. What is its name? Question 2, all Manchester College staff and students follow a set of standards and behaviours during day-to-day college life. What is this agreement called? So question 2, all Manchester College staff and students follow a set of standards and behaviours during day-to-day college life. What is this agreement called? Question 3, college staff hold a number of different job roles within the student support team. Can you name one job role? And I'll give you a clue. The initials for the different job roles are HOSS, that's one job role. SDO is another one. SESP is another one. AT and SM, and I'm an SM. So all you need to do for number 3 is just name one job role within the student support team. SM, AT, SESP, SDO or HOSS. Any of those is fine. And then for question 4, on what date does the autumn term begin this year? And the answer to that is on the student guide. And I'll give you the website address again for the student guide: www.tmc.ac.uk/students-guide. Again, www.tmc.ac.uk/student-guide. And then finally, question 5. Manchester College students can participate in a nationally recognised award programme. After which senior member of the royal family is it named? And we've just covered it, so I hope you'll get that one straight away. Manchester College students can participate in a nationally recognised award programme. After which senior member of the royal family is it named? We will send the questions on the follow-up and the email address to send your answers to, and we'd like your answers by no later than Sunday, and we will draw the winner out the following Friday, and the winner will win a £20 voucher. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So we have had a lot of questions which have come through whilst we're doing the presentation. So I'll just start off with the first question. Somebody has asked, can I join the college football team?
Absolutely. Yes. We have that mainly runs from our Nichols campus, but it doesn't matter. Even if you don't study there, you'll be able to join. And we have, I don't know if you've been following us at all on social media over sort of during lockdown, but we've had lots of links from our sort of sports tutors that sort of support the football team. So there's lots of information there. So if you're happy to kind of leave your email, we can follow up and make sure that happens for you as soon as you start.
That's brilliant. Thank you, Annette. Got a few questions about becoming a student ambassador. I know you covered that, but somebody said, what does a student ambassador do, and is it classed as an extracurricular on your CV?
Yes, it's classed as an extracurricular, and the ambassador role is all about being that champion, being that voice in the college. So mainly how an ambassador works is supports us with a lot of our events. So for example, we have open days, and that's an opportunity for new students or people that are interested in studying in the Manchester College to come onto campus. Your job as an ambassador would be to show them around, to share your experiences of studying on your course, and really just to give that insight, because sometimes, and you might be feeling it yourself as part of this presentation, but you know, it's been a while since I've started college, you know, many years. Whereas if you're just starting something, there's nothing better than talking to someone who's maybe just a year ahead. So that's the whole point about that ambassador, that you've got the knowledge that you then share with you know, people that are thinking and considering about considering studying at the Manchester College. So that's a bit about what the ambassador does. We also do those kind of, I talked about, we do sort of fundraising, charity events, and a lot of the time the ambassadors really help us with those kind of organisations. So it just really helps, you know, when you're thinking about your extracurricular, you're thinking about your CV, there's so many things you can talk about. You can talk about, you know, event planning, communication skills, collaboration. So there's real value in being an ambassador, and I'm really glad that you're interested in signing up. So again, please leave us your details and we'll make sure that we send you all the details of how to get involved.
That's brilliant, thank you. Somebody has asked a couple of questions about the groups and what groups and clubs can we join. I know you covered that as well. Then somebody's also said, are there any groups and clubs with animals?
Oh, well, we mainly have an animal care provision takes place in Northern, and there's groups around, you know, there's opportunities there to sort of participate. If you're not at Northern, I think it's maybe a little bit there's not any that I know of, but what I do know of is this: because we are part of the student union, if you can get 10 people that are interested in the same thing as you, then you have the opportunity to set up your own group in society. So if you find that your interests, your passions, there isn't a group for you, if you find 9 other people, you can set up your own group, and we give you lots of help and advice to do that. And again, that's another fantastic thing to put on your CV, the fact that there was, you know, we're being solution focused. You wanted a group that worked with animals, there wasn't one, and this is how we set one up for you.
That's amazing, thank you. Somebody's asked a question about homeschooling. Actually, they said they've been homeschooled all their whole life and they're not used to coming into any classrooms. Will anybody be able to help them to sort of understand?
Absolutely. So we talked a little bit about the HIVE. So the HIVE is a way for people to sort of find their feet and to really cope with that sort of transition, you know. So for yourself, if you've just been studying at home and, you know, the whole campus environment is completely new for you, what we would arrange for you is to have regular one-to-one meetings with your student mentor to help you navigate that, to help build your confidence. And then once you've reached a certain point, if you felt, you know, you were able, willing, you could sort of start to sort of participate in classes and in curriculum. So the HIVE is a designated sort of a group team of people that will help you overcome, you know, those barriers to learning. So it's about building your confidence and making sure that you know, feel that you know, more appreciative of what it is that we expect from college life before we kind of just throw you in. So I hope that answers your question, but again, please leave us your details and we can follow up individually, and we'd give you an opportunity to come onto campus maybe before college starts. There's the opportunity to do that too, if you wanted.
That's brilliant, thank you, Annette. Somebody's asked there's a couple of questions about the achievement tutors. Somebody said, will achievement tutors help me to apply and get into university? And then somebody else has said, does everyone get an achievement tutor and is it complimentary?
Yeah, so absolutely everyone on a 16 to 18 study programme has an achievement tutor. So that's the first question. The second, the question was about, do they help you with university and help you to get in? Right, okay, they can't help you get in because that's your job. You have to put in the hard work, you have to get the qualification. What they can help you to do is to make sure that you stay on track with your course, you know, so make sure that you've got support and hitting your deadlines and making sure that you know what it is that you have to achieve in order to get into university. And they can also help you navigate the UCAS process, so they can help you understand what's involved in UCAS, what's involved in making a personal statement, but unfortunately they can't do the work for you, so getting into university is all about you.
Thank you. Somebody's asked a question about enrichment. Do I have to pay for any of the enrichment?
No, the majority of the enrichment takes place on campus and it is free. However, you know, with some of the bigger trips, you might have seen that they went to Blackpool. You know, there's always a cost involved, but what our students tend to do is to fundraise for those events, so that really minimises the cost of any enrichment. But all our on-campus events are free for students.
That's brilliant, thank you. Somebody said, how will enrichment work sort of during COVID-19?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think it's about understanding that enrichment is going to be, some of it's going to be blended. So where we would have guest speakers, you know, maybe physically coming onto a campus, instead what we would have is speakers doing a session similar to this. So guest speakers, and then you could log on to a Teams, just as we've done today. In terms of the sort of face-to-face enrichment, we're currently undertaking risk assessments because your safety is our priority. But there are ways of, you know, doing lots of our enrichment safely, you know, just making sure that we abide by the sort of government guidance. So it will be mixed. You will have the opportunities to still do things on campus in a safe way, as well as participating online in sessions like this.
Brilliant, thank you, Annette. Somebody's asked a question about ID cards. Somebody said, well, do they get our pictures taken or do they take them themselves?
No, well, usually we tend to take the picture for you as part of our enrolment process. But what I will need to do is maybe just double check on that, because I know that a lot of us will be enrolling online. So I just need to double check, because you might be able to upload your own. But the best advice I would give you is that for your ID, we'd be looking for something similar to like a sort of passport photo. We need to make sure that it's you. So minimising any sort of Snapchat filters, and, you know, just being, you know, sort of formal, thinking about it like your work ID, like your passport. So that's a kind of formality. So if you start to think about taking a photo like that, it just means if you have to upload it as part of the online process, you've got that to hand. But we can, as the term goes on, and if you were on campus and you lost your ID badge, we could easily take that for you at the reception and in the library.
That's brilliant, thank you. We do have some sessions on how to enrol on Thursday and on Friday, so I'm sure that they will cover that element there about how to enrol and your photograph and your ID badge on there. But any queries for that particular person, just get in touch with us and the inquiries team, they'll be able to help you. Somebody said, I have anxiety, will there be any support for my mental health?
Yeah, I mean, I think this is what I think more of us, and what's brilliant, isn't it, is that we can all put our hands up and say that that's how we feel now. But I think particularly with COVID, I want to just reassure that person that they're absolutely not alone. So that's really the role of the sort of safeguarding practitioner. They're there to meet with you one-to-one and to help you come up with strategies really to sort of help you manage your anxiety. So it's helping you become sort of solution focused. How can you manage yourself? What's the situations that you're putting yourself in that we can sort of help try and reduce that anxiety? So it's really equipping you with tools to better manage. And if we felt that it was, you know, that we'd encourage you to speak to your GP, as we would with sort of any mental health, so making sure you're getting the support from your GP. We can complement that on college with the work that we do around the HIVE, with the safeguarding practitioners. So my sort of takeaway would be, know that the support's there, but you will really need to sort of work with us and sort of, you know, take on board the strategies that we suggest.
That's brilliant, thank you. Now I've got a couple of questions about COVID-19 and just what is expected of the students. What is college doing to make the campuses safe in relation to COVID-19?
So, sorry, can you just repeat that? Sorry about that, Amy.
Yes, sorry. Somebody said, what is the college doing to make campuses safe in relation to COVID-19?
Okay, so at the moment, every single campus is undergoing a deep clean, and that's ongoing until the sort of campus is open, and that will continue throughout. We have hand sanitisers throughout, so we're encouraging people to sort of take responsibility, just the same way if you were in the supermarket, you know, that you're making use of that you're washing your hands regularly, and that you're keeping on top of all the government guidance yourself to keep yourself safe. And in terms of the college, just like every other sort of workplace and, you know, like lots of other businesses and organisations and schools, we're thinking about things like you know, risk assessments. Some schools you might have heard are doing things around sort of learning bubbles, so making sure that, you know, you keep together in a group and, you know, you move, you know, that you're always with the same people, so that if anything did happen, it'd be easy for us to react to that. So as a result of that, there will be a maybe different college experience, but it'll be you will still be coming onto campus to have that face-to-face delivery. It will be some sessions like this where it's over Teams, but that's absolutely brilliant when you think about it, because I think what COVID is showing us is that the world of work is changing. You know, so the whole idea of everything being face to face is no longer, you know, it's no longer how it needs to be. So I think as a student, what you're going to get is the best of both worlds. You're going to have that face to face with your tutor, but you're also going to learn what it's like to manage yourself and to work remotely, and that is what's going to be demanded of the sort of modern workplace. But in terms of like safety, we would not in any way compromise student or staff safety. And as I said, there's lots of work going on in terms of making sure the campuses are clean, that there's hand sanitizers, one-way systems, learning bubbles. These are all things that we're thinking about. So you can be absolutely assured that when you begin with us in September, you know, all risk is as minimised as it possibly can be.
That's brilliant, thank you. We did have a session a couple of weeks ago about safety on campus, so that can be viewed via our YouTube channel as well on the Couch to College. Just got one more question for you actually. Somebody said, where do I find the student experience team on campus?
Yeah, so I mean, because on campus it will change, so I can't say it'll be room 101 because it'll be a different room depending on the campus. But what I can tell you, right, is that every single morning when you come onto campus, a member of the student support team will be there to welcome you. We will be there to meet and greet you. So from the first minute that you walk in the door, there will be a member of our team. So you will see them straight away. You will not have to seek them out. They are there for you. But most campuses have a designated office space where you will find the team. But as I said, as part of induction, they will make that really clear to you where they are. They'll all come and introduce themselves. So just as I showed you, you know, the team at Openshaw, when you move onto campus, that the team will say who they are, where they are, when you can get in touch with them. But as I said, every single morning we will be there to meet and greet you and to welcome you onto campus. So you'll never struggle to find us.
That's brilliant, thank you so much. I've just had another quick look at the questions, and I think that's all our questions for today's session. Oh, sorry, somebody else has actually asked one. Can I wear a mask if I feel more comfortable? Sorry, I know it's a COVID question.
Yes, I mean, I think we were giving people the opportunity to, you know, manage that risk from themselves. So if that made you feel safer, yeah, by all means, you can wear a mask. We won't be making it compulsory. It's up to, because what we're hoping is the social distancing that we put in place, the reduced numbers of students on campus will help mitigate that risk. But if a mask is something that you feel comfortable wearing, that's fine.
That's brilliant. Thank you so much. I think that's all of our questions for today's session. So just want to say a big thank you to Annette and to Steve for doing the session today. And also, as we mentioned, as Annette's mentioned, we've got a Duke of Edinburgh session which is taking place at 5 o'clock. It is in the chat box, but if you go into the if you go onto the tmc.ac.uk and click on Couch to College, you'll be able to book onto the session for later on this afternoon. We've got another student experience session taking place on Friday, how to enrol. It's a couple of sessions as well coming up over the next couple of days. So thank you very much for joining us, and we hope to see you in September.
Yeah, can't wait to see you all. Bye.